If there were more people doing this, man, it's like the fastest growing sport in the world. People just don't know enough about it, you know. It's so foreign here in New Zealand. And even though we've got like some of the best fighters in the world out of the sport, people don't even know about it. And I've been overseas of Israel, and he's bigger there than he is here. Like, you know, it's insane to me.
Today I'm squaring up with Navajo Stirling, two-time King of the Ring champion, and coming up to his second pro MMA fight in the Shuriken Fight Series 16. How are we going, Navajo?
Yeah, all good. Just finished up another hard training for the Saturday. So
First one in the new gym as well.
yeah, first one in the new gym. So yeah, we were busy all day after sparring. So just moving everything. Still got, I think, a bit to go, but no, it's good to finally be settled in the new spot.
Still looks like there's a fair bit to go.
Yeah. Still a fair bit to go, a bit of cleaning to go and stuff. But nah, we're there's a lot of space and a lot to look forward to.
You might be a qualified chippy by the end.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, so I guess we're in the new gym. Let's start there. How was you had your last training in your gym this morning?
Yeah.
How was that? It was a bit bittersweet.
Yeah. We had some good memories. Obviously, funny enough, I helped move the old gym when I wasn't even here. So I come up with for a teammate that fought in
so you're training at another gym?
Yeah, so I was from Wellington. I come up for a King of the Ring with my teammate fought, and I remember sparring the last day at the old spot. So I actually helped move for both of them. But yeah, that one, there's good memories put in there for the past couple of years since I've been here. It's been 2 years. Doesn't even feel like I've been here that long, but I have been. So, and then time's flown by fast, and new beginnings, big things are coming my way. And I'm sure I will spread a lot of new memories and drips of greatness in here with myself. So it's exciting times here.
Speaking of exciting times for you, you've mentioned a frustration in finding opponents in your professional career. Have you dealt with that frustration, and how's that kind of journey been?
For me, obviously, a lot of people will probably, it'll stop their motivation and whatnot, and training and whatnot, but, I've got the higher goal ahead of me. I know I've got a higher calling, so, I just look at that number one spot, what I'm here to do, what I'm here for, and that's what keeps me coming to training, just focusing on getting better. And I've always, ever since I started my martial arts career, it's always been very hard for me to find fights. So I've always done the thing where I've really internalized my fight, and even not being in there and just putting all these different situations in my head and in training and constantly trying to get better. And when I fight, I almost experiment when I'm in there. I'm working on things. I think my first pro MMA fight, you would have seen me taking my guy down, hitting some takedowns. So that's all experience back for me. People might not have been excited with my first fight because I'm a striker, and they saw a completely different outcome. But I'm in it for the long run. I'm in it to be the best at everything. So I like to work on what I'm not good at. So I got the feel of the squeeze and stuff now. I feel like I've banked that. So ready to put it all on display now for this next one.
Coming up with the next one is Calvin Fiddle.
Yep.
So I thought you came from Guam, but you came from another island.
Yeah, I think it's Saipan, which is the Mariana Islands, I believe that's what it's called. And I think it's part of the United States Commonwealth or something like that. It's right next to Guam, I think. So I've never heard of the place before, but I actually did a bit of research on that as well. So it's interesting, how far we've gone to try and find someone. So I guess that shows, no one really wants to fight. So this guy is, so we've got to give him this respect. So.
If you've got to keep doing this to find fighters, what does it mean for you staying in New Zealand?
I think for me, I don't really know too much on, carving out my path, so I just leave it all in my coach's hands. So I've got a lot of trust in them, and although I don't really get much notice on what's going on because our coaches are so busy and whatnot, I know that they have things in plan for me, and you know, we might be fast tracked to, you know, the big leagues very soon. So I think that might be the go. I'm not too sure. So
I've been interviewing a few people leading up to Shuriken.
Yeah.
Everyone else is amateur, and some of them are on the cusp of wanting to hit pro, like they've got sponsors and stuff. What does that kind of? There isn't a blueprint for it.
Yeah.
What does that path kind of look like?
Yeah, definitely something like the sponsors is a big part of it, especially when you're professional. I think amateur, depending on like how far you're going in amateur, like you want to say come to a world level, you know, I'd say sponsors would be very good. But as a pro, man, if you're looking to get to those big leagues, you kind of have to time it right. You got to, like for me, just getting these guys on, my guys on now, RPM, Kirkwood Barbers, out of City, Mount Eden, Chiropractic. I mean, they've all just jumped on at the perfect time, you know. So that was my kind of pull, is just like letting them know like where I'm going, and in very short time. So that's all good for them and whatnot. So yeah, I think timing is a big one for sponsors. They want to be behind something, I think, and I think if you're just like posting a lot more and getting yourself on more platforms, like I follow like a lot of fighters that put a lot on all platforms, and that's what I've been trying to do. You know, I'm even trying to get on more. You know, YouTube. I've just come out of YouTube. I'm gonna start like documenting my own sort of fights, like embedded sort of series, just on my own camp. Even though I'm not in the UFC and whatnot, like these are the kind of stuff that people wanna look at before you mate, you know. So the more film you got on yourself, it's gold, you know. Like it's all gold, yeah, exactly. Look at his one, you know. So
far back footage.
Yeah, like that's given me like heaps of inspiration to do more for myself, you know. I always try to think like, what am I a fan of, you know, and if you can put yourself like, what do you like, you know, what do you follow, which fighters you follow, and then just try to like copy them or whatnot, you know. That's all I'm doing. So yeah, that would be my advice.
This is a personal question. I've always been curious how the sponsorship thing works. Is it kind of like an income for you, or do they just cover costs, so your other income is spent on where it needs to go, sort of thing?
Yeah, so some of my, obviously you're going to have a sit down with some of them. Mine was more like I only work part-time, so they thought like they could cover some of the days that I wouldn't work for like a 40-hour week and what I'm missing out on, and just covering that side of it in a one lump sum. You can offer them different packages, you know. You could be like, you could do like a monthly payment, or whatnot, or a yearly sum, like anything's good, you know, really, like whether it be just paying like your gym membership, like that's an awesome sponsorship to have, you know, no matter how small it may be, like it all helps in the future for you, whether you're amateur or professional. Could be, I was taking anything like, you know, food or gas vouchers, things like that, you know.
It all helps.
Yeah, it all helps, like honestly. Percent off anything, man, you gotta go for it. So yeah, that's the one.
I was thinking about this today when I was thinking about your frustration of finding opponents. Does City Kickboxing kind of, its success has worked to the detriment of its heavyweight and light heavyweight fighters, where they're kind of all here, so you don't have anyone to fight because you're already all training together? You gravitated towards this.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, that is true. I've thought about that, but I think it's only just in the sort of Australian sort of, and like, you know, Oceania region. Obviously we got the big bear training with us now, Brando Pedicic, Tyson Pedro, you know, they're training here now.
A couple of boys.
But they were here as well. Yeah, I'd say at the end of the day, we still want to fight guys. I've seen plenty of heavyweights and light heavyweights in Australia, but I don't know what it takes to fight these guys. I don't know how like the whole matchmaking works. You know, you've got all these managers and promotions, and they're all like want sums of money, or they think this is a setup. You know, I've never really cared. I'm just like, you know what, I just want to fight. You know, that's all I'm saying. It's got to a point where I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna start calling dudes out. You know, I'm start commenting on some posts. You never want to share it, you know, or tagging all the journalists, you know, then they're all after it. So that's my new strategy now.
Create some groundswell.
I'm just gonna start hitting the gram, you know, nowhere to hide on there. So, you know, I think that's the go now.
I think your problem is just too good, bro.
I mean, I'm still human, you know. I don't know, like I like challenges. Like if I'm like a guy looking at me, I'd be like, I want to fight that guy. Like, give me, if I fight him, you steal all of that fan base from that guy. You beat the best dude. You become this, you know, the bee's knees, and I've been trying to. I'm like, all right, who's number one on the topology? You know, I'm like, okay, how can we get a fight with this guy? And then you know, I don't know how it all works, but I asked for the name, and they just like, you know, they'll get back to us, you know. So that's what I'm hearing.
So for you, how would you like your path as you climb the professional? Ladder seems like the wrong term, but just your professional career path. How would you like to see it go?
Obviously, my path to like the UFC is going to be a lot quicker than most guys. And they're being like as like a bigger guy. There's not that many. I call the light heavyweight and heavyweight division the athletes division. You know, because most of the guys are like not like elite martial artists like some of these like lightweights you see that are just good at everything. You know, black belts and elite wrestlers, strikers. So they're all like, you know, former NFL players and guys that should have been playing rugby league or basketball. So it's more like athletic prowess is what you see. So and it's such a small division. Like I've had a look at like the UFC's active light heavyweights, and there's not that many, you know. So my path to get there is going to be a lot faster, as well as there's not that many outside of the UFC either. So when I get there, just going to be fighting my way up and doing the main thing, which is, you know, building that fan base, becoming a personality, you know, and then all of a sudden everyone's going to be want my name, you know. So that's what I've envisioned for myself, and I know it's going to happen. Like, I don't care what anyone says. Like, they're going to come after me. There'll be, you know, the light bulb hairs, and it's like, yeah, they're all going to be screaming for me. So.
Because that was going to lead on to my next question, is how do you, the key to being success in the UFC is understanding that you don't just have to be good, you need to understand the entertainment aspect of it as well.
Yeah.
You said you're going to become a personality.
Yeah,
so.
for sure. You know, there's not a lot of people that look like me out in the world. You know, I'm a half-caste Māori. You know, I'm white skinned, but I have like brown features, you know. So I think when I was in the States, like, people thought I was like real funny looking, you know. And growing up as a kid, I used to think like, oh, you know, I never liked that, but why don't I look like anyone else? But, you know, now I've kind of learned to just like hone in on my uniqueness, and even in my name as well, and just my whole like ethnic group, you know. Taking it to the world, people will be like shocked, like, whoa, who is this guy, you know. So I think I've got like a lot of star power, like ready to take off, you know. It's just putting it out there.
Yeah. One of the things I love the most and find fascinating about combat sport athletes is that kind of confidence and that self-belief. Where does it kind of come from? Like, can you remember the point where you're like, you know what, this is my future and I don't care what anyone else says?
Yeah, I mean, I've never been good at anything else other than just like hard labor. Like, I've done like, all I've ever known is to just like work hard, and I've never been really the smartest, but I've kind of learned to hone in on not being so shy, and fighting's allowed me to do that. You know, when you knock someone out in front of thousands of people, you get like that surge of energy, you know. You're just like, bro, no one can stop me, you know. And I think, it's just a bit of, I always grew up like sporty, like playing loads of sports, and you know, I hated like getting subbed on the bench, you know, stuff like that. Or maybe you play for a shit team, but you'll start playing a shit team, but you're never going to go anywhere. Or you're a role player in a good team, you know. And I'm sure loads of people feel that way, and they don't mind it. But me, I know I'm in for stardom, you know, and I could never find that place in, you know, rugby or volleyball, basketball, all these sports I played growing up. So when I found out fighting, you know, I'm solely responsible for the outcome. I can just go on in there, you know, no matter what team I'm from, no matter where I come from in the world or what upbringing I had or what the other guy had, you know, I don't care about that. I just go on and flatline you or pick you off, you know, whatever it is, I can still win that, you know. So the chances are equal for everyone, you know, as a fighter. So and that's why I love the sport so much. And I think more people should get into it, you know. Yeah. They might feel that same way.
Do you reckon that's kind of what New Zealand needs for that pro level and that upper amateur level? Because
yeah,
it seems
for
people
sure.
can't find opponents.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like if there were more people doing this, man, it's like the fastest growing sport in the world. People just don't know enough about it, you know. It's so foreign here in New Zealand, and even though we've got like, you know, some of the best fighters in the world out of the sport, people don't even know about it. And I've been overseas of Israel, and he's bigger there than he is here. Like, you know, it's insane to me, you know. Yeah, that's just I don't know why. I think it's just too many old heads running around, you know. They just associate it to, you know, barnyard boxing, you know, or whatever. But
yeah, I definitely run into those people at work and stuff like that. So, but I reckon what Jay's done with Shuriken and all the other gyms are starting to grow as well.
Yeah.
I think we're starting to get some good growth.
Get a bit
I
of traction.
involved there as well. That's why I'm doing this.
And I'm coming into the new era, you know, and if I can pave, I'm starting to realise now that things can be bigger than just me. You know, I can pave that next generation. You know, I get some of my younger teammates talk to me about it. Like they really do follow me. You know, and I never really thought about a lot of people following me in that sense. But you know, maybe when I start to make it, I can show people like, you know what, I did this all out of New Zealand. I didn't go nowhere. I didn't fight nowhere else. I fought here in New Zealand, and I brought myself to the top. And that's something to be proud of, and to show like, hey, like, bro, if you back yourself, you know, you can really make it to the top. And that's what I did for myself, you know. And so if I can inspire other young Kiwi fighters to do the same for themselves, then that'll be something, you know, that I could achieve that's bigger than me, you know. Because I only come out of a small town, you know, where the fighting there's no such thing as MMA where I'm from. It's just rugby, you know. It's just like your typical Kiwi, you know, hometown stuff. It's just rugby, bit of trades work, and that's, you know, having a beer down at the pub. That's what it's like here where I'm from. So, yeah.
Because wanting to inspire people and knowing that you actually are different things, and you've had people tell you that.
Yeah.
Does that kind of, how does it make you feel? Do you feel the pressure, or?
Oh yeah, like I kind of just like hadn't always known I was going to be pulling that star power and that pressure, you know. I'm just kind of like, you know what, throw more pressure on me. Just keep putting the pressure on me because I know I'm going to rise. I just go like, and people are like, how do you deal with it? I'm just like, bro, I'd rather be doing this than anything else, you know. Just put more pressure on me. Just stack it up. I just want to see as much as I can take. And you know, I've got like the role models in front of me, you know, to look how they deal with it and whatnot. So yeah, no, I'm ready for it.
You're headlining Shuriken Fight Series 16 on the 20th of October. How do you see that fight going, and what's your prediction?
Yeah, I'll take whatever's open. Like, yeah, I'm a big fan of, you know, using everything available. So you could expect a knockout, setting up a knockout, rear naked choke, ground and pound, anything, you know. I believe I can take it wherever I see fit. And it's just really on how I see the fight going down. Like whatever he comes at me with, you know, I might drop him on the first hook. You never know. It's MMA.
That's why we love MMA.
Yeah, that's why we love MMA.
And where can people get tickets and watch?
I think tickets are sold through Shuriken or Event Finder. You can buy some on Event Finder, or you can message me. I'm selling tables and tickets as well.
What's your handle on Instagram?
Yeah, my handle's at Navajo Stirling, so NAVAJO STIRLING. So yeah.
Sweet. Well, thanks for talking to me, bro. I'm looking forward to watching your fight,
brother. Thank you. Thanks for having me.